So, welcome back to Leadfoot TV. So today we are starting a series on a car that is very different from anything we've ever done before.
Yes, it does not stick to the ethos of race cars or modified or anything that we have done.
Yeah. Apart from it is Japanese.
It is Japanese. It's very small, it's very cute. I think you'll all like it very much. We love it probably more than we should.
So I loved it originally.
Yeah.
Duncan didn't want us to buy it.
I didn't. I was like, what the hell are you thinking? And then I saw it, I got in it, I drove it, I love it.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. It's a Figaro. This is our Nissan Figaro. So we've picked this up, we've had it about a week in the garage, just waiting to do some stuff on it. We've got so much other work to do that we've been focusing on, but we are now starting on the Figaro. It's a complete car. You notice there's a couple of bits missing, but we have them. So we do have everything to complete the car. It needs some work. We have actually managed to pick this up on a really good deal. There was a chap who has another Figaro that needed a bit of work. We have agreed to do that work on that car for him in exchange for this. It's fantastic. Come and have a look.
Yeah, so it's based on a Nissan Micra.
Yes, so it's a K10 chassis, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely built off a K10 engine.
Yeah.
And I think some of the chassis might be K11. There's definitely bits from a K11 in it too. So
it's a bit of a hybrid.
Yeah, it does have the infamous heater problem from the K11.
Yeah, so you'll notice I'll go around the other side. You'll notice that the heater is currently hanging out, and the radio as well, because the previous owner has tried to get at it to try and fix it, but it is a much simpler thing. There's just a little heater resistor. It just looks like a series of metal fins, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like a £5 part. So we'll pick that up, bang that in, heater will work again, we can get all the dash built back up. There's a little bit of age-related stuff, like the dashboard. This top panel is very, very common for splitting with heat. Yeah. Just with the sun, it just dries it out and it just cracks there.
So all of these cars are Japanese imports. They all come from Japan.
Yeah,
and
they're all automatic as well.
Yeah, obviously when they're sat in Japan, the sun is pretty extreme compared to here. So that's why you get these dash cracking. It's very common on Skylines and all Nissans, really, to be honest with you.
I think the styling of it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I say, when you first said, let's go and get a Figaro, I said, absolutely not. But then it's very 50s. So it's definitely a throwback to a previous generation. The seats in it are so comfy. Yeah. Ridiculously comfy. You can just see.
It's like sitting on a diner, like a bench in an old American diner.
It is. I'm kind of sad it's not a bench seat, to be honest. But so the bits that need work are the roof.
Yeah.
The roof is properly scabby.
Yeah, so it's quite common for all this frame to go a little bit rotten. This one isn't actually too bad, but the roof, well, you can see that's just split there. It's pretty.
There's a front metal panel that's just a bit rusty.
Yeah.
The rear section that's got the actual glass in it, that's fine. There's a couple of gas struts in this rear section. Yeah. They're goosed, so we'll need to replace them. Other than that, the roof is cool, so we'll replace the rag top. We'll probably keep this bit. Might need to just give a little bit of attention. I've just noticed there's a couple of little spots of something under there.
Rust, probably.
Probably. So we might take a look at that. It's not a major thing though. Replace gas struts, replace the heater resistor. There is, of course, because it's a Japanese car that we've bought, there's some rust on it.
Yeah.
There's some holes.
So
I'll show you that.
We'll show you the rust. It's actually not as bad. So we went to view this car thinking it was going to be a rotten heap of junk. So, and we still wanted it.
It's usually the case, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not actually too bad, to be fair. We've got a bit here that's gone through both skins, but as you can see, it's a pretty easy spot to get to, and it doesn't go too far back. And then we have a little bit of a bubble coming through at the bottom here, and then there is meant to be a metal panel on this little rectangle there, and that has basically just disappeared. So this other side is actually nowhere near as bad. Most of the rot is in these chrome bumpers, which is
quite common, I believe, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're annoyingly expensive to replace, but we'll just have to suck that up.
Yeah, and then these There's just a little hole in the bottom of there as well. So.
Oh yeah.
And then the bodywork's actually in reasonable condition. Like we said before, a lot of Japanese cars suffer from sun damage, so we've got sun damage on the back. We think that we might be able to save the paintwork on that by sanding the lacquer back and re-lacquering the paintwork.
That is the hope. Oh, there was also a little spot of rust just at the bottom of the little boot.
Yeah, here.
The little boot, which is very cool, by the way. I like that a lot. Full spare wheel. Oh, should we show them the flare?
The flare.
We've got a flare. It was a proper JDM flare car.
So we still have the original flare.
Which is actually faded to hell, so it's definitely the original one from the car. That's fantastic. Love that.
So under the bonnet's actually pretty cool. So this is the same engine that is in, well, almost the same engine that is in the K10 Nissan March Super Turbo, just without the supercharger. So we still have the turbo on it. And it drives a lot like my Skyline. We got in it and we were like...
it sounds annoyingly like the Skyline, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's a 1 litre turbocharged engine out of a K10, which is pretty cool. And the engine runs and drives absolutely perfect, really. Yeah.
It sounds really good as well. We've got a little sound clip which we'll put in now.
The only issue we did have was when we took the airbox off, there was already somebody living in here.
So we childishly decided let's pull the air filter off to see the dopey noises, and it was a nest.
Yeah.
I thought this little piece of the heat shield was missing because of just a bit of heat, it burnt off or whatever, but it had been eaten and turned into part of the nest.
So we took the top of the airbox off while it was running, and there was a little like a nest of leaves and stuff, and it was moving, it was vibrating around, so we weren't sure if there was anything in it still.
I was just poking it with a screwdriver really gently like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But thankfully it was empty.
So our plan with this is we've actually finished one of the main jobs that we're doing for somebody else, and our plan is to phase out all the other jobs that we're doing for other people and focus back on YouTube. So this is going to be a series. We're going to be dropping a video every week, and we're going to commit to it until it's finished. And then when this is finished, we're going to finally do the Honda Accord that people keep bugging us about.
Yes.
So basically, we're going to restore this, go on an adventure somewhere, and then eventually sell it. And this will hopefully fund building our Honda Accord.
Yes, and then potentially even another car afterwards, because we do actually stand to make quite a decent little profit on this car.
Yeah.
It could be an absolutely fantastic little car. Guaranteed it's probably going to be one of those things where we realise actually we don't want to sell it. It's really nice. It's not going to take a right lot to get it good.
No, there's little bits and pieces that just need tidying up, really. A lot of it is just tidying it up. Like, it runs absolutely spot on. We've got things like the paint's come off the wiper arms. We've got like just little bits of trim that need tidying up.
Bit of crack in there. We'll respray the mirror caps because they've discoloured, again, just with sunlight.
Yeah.
Replace all the trim. There's the little bottom grille there's just a little bit loose, so we'll find some clips to fix that back in place. And then we'll have a Figaro. Yeah.
So it should be a relatively quick but fun project.
Don't say it's going to be quick. It's not going to be quick. You say it's going to be quick, it's going to take 3 years.
Yeah. So I think the plan is for us to strip the roof off and start the welding before we do anything else.
Yes.
Then we can start putting all the interior back together, fixing the heaters and just tidying it up in general. And then when it is finished, we won't just be selling it, we will be going to do something pretty special in it.
Yeah. Every car should have a story, shouldn't it?
It should, yeah.
And especially when they're being saved from the scrapyard, because people see holes in cars and they go, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Which we are proving time and time again is not the case.
Yeah. So yeah, if you followed originally for the Micra, you might want to watch this series because it is very, very similar and it shares a lot with the Nissan Micra.
It's surprising how many parts translate.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Over the next 2 months, we're going to be rebuilding it, and hopefully we'll be able to drop a video every week for you.
We hope you're excited about it, as we are. We're very excited.
I'm very excited.
It's really making us quite giddy.
It's nice to do something different and not quite as serious.
Yeah. Ash has suggested to me that a car like this needs a name, and I agree. Yeah,
it obviously has a lot of character, and I think it definitely needs a name. So we're going to leave it up to you guys to decide the name. If you drop it in the comments down below, we'll pick our favourite one, and whoever we pick, we will give a little prize to as well. So
yes, as well as having the honour of naming the Figaro.
yeah. So that is it for episode 1 of the Figaro. We'll catch you in the next one where we're going to start making some
changes,
progress, and getting this thing back on the road. So if you've enjoyed the first episode, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to watch the whole series. But for now, we'll catch you in the next one. Okay.
Was that a fart?
So,
hello.
this is
You're a peppy little spitfuck, aren't you?
catch you in the next one.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
I'm going to cut off. Thank you very much. It wasn't necessary. I just thought I should say something at the end. Thank you very much for doing that. That'll do.